I think success or failure, whatever it is, it comes from what you do day over day when people are looking, when people aren't looking. It's not a thunderclap. It's a quiet, patient applaud. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So now, to truly grasp the importance of the little things, we must look unflinchingly at the consequences of not adhering to them. Not the glamorous, catastrophic moments that headline all of the news and the articles, but the little things that fall through the cracks. Well, I mean, this one is pretty big. The first thing we'll cover. I mean, if you can guess what I'm talking about, come off mute and join me. It's 1986. The engineers embargo, it should have been a pretty normal procedure. They're doing something they do every single day. Now, what they did differently is they disabled a specific safety mechanism. Now, what that resulted in is, I mean, decades-long catastrophe. I mean, I imagine you guys know I'm talking about Chernobyl at this point. It's one protocol. They skipped. The worst things that have ever happened did not happen out of malice, did not happen from some evil person. The worst things that have happened to us has happened because of just human error and people not holding themselves accountable. So, yeah, to the point, the explosion, it wasn't an explosion. It was a small erosion of lack of responsibility that led to this happening over time. So the lesson on this one is pretty unambiguous. Safety mechanisms exist not to frustrate, but to protect. Ignoring them, no matter how justified it seems, it creates chaos. Disasters don't only come from ignoring stuff. It's communication. It's everything. So, for instance, the next thing we're going to talk about, it's a Tenerife runway in 1977. 2 aircraft were poised to take off. In the fog, both literal and communicative, one pilot assumed he had clearance. He's been doing it all his life. He's a veteran. He's the most veteran pilot that they had. He missed one word: failure to verify that he was clear to take off. What resulted was the largest aviation accident in history, claimed 583 lives, all because one person felt comfortable that their experience outweighed protocol, that their time on the job was more important than the small tasks they needed to do every single day. So both of these events, they illustrate a fundamental truth. Order depends on the faithful execution of small steps every single day, yet under the pressure of time and expectation as humans, we often risk shortcuts, especially when deadlines form and when we have people over our shoulder. It never leads to success. Deepwater Horizon. There's one of the things, again, human error. They felt the pressure of deadlines, getting things done on time, and they skipped one small safety step. You guys are kind of seeing the recurring theme here. The disaster is tragic, but it's preventable. And it's preventable by what, and if you're thinking, oh, okay, we got a nuclear crash and a plane thing, how does this relate to my life? Oh my goodness, it does. If neglecting the small steps leads to ruin, then the reverse must be true. So if you're thinking, okay, this all sounds terrible, how do I get out of this? Attending to these details with relentless care leads to resilience, leads to growth, leads to ultimate success. It is the only way you can do it. So we've looked at the downside. You have the thing that you're going to be running away from in your professional career. You need something to also aim for. So the number one example that comes to me is Stephen King. So his literary empire was not built on flashes of light bulbs and inspiration that he had one day while he was sitting under the tree in the park. It's not that whatsoever. It's profound commitment to his craft, to the discipline. What he did, he wrote, was it 5,000 words every single day, or 2,000 words every single day, without exception, regardless of circumstance, his birthday, Christmas, 4th of July, whatever it was. This is something that he did, and it led to all of us knowing his name. He didn't wake up one morning and think of, was it The Shining? That didn't happen. It was the result of just one of his days where he did the same thing every single day. He struck luck. You don't get lucky by getting lucky. You get lucky by working hard. So the next example of this, Kobe Bryant, 4 a.m. workouts. Kobe Bryant embodied what he called the Mamba mentality. A will to excellence. He routinely arrived at the gym hours before everybody else. He routinely stayed at the gym hours after everybody else. This level of commitment to the invisible work, to the preparation, no one's applauding for. No one's, all that he gets is the understanding that whoever thinks they're going to be first to the gym that day walks in, opens the doors, sets their bag down, looks up and sees Kobe sweating already. And this mindset is how you dig yourself out of holes, how you hopefully not get in holes in the first place, right? So Brian's story, it deepens our understanding. Success demands sacrifice, not only of time, of comfort, social life, ease. It shows mastery requires you do the work when it's the hardest, not when it's the easiest, when it's the least visible. Even the most relentless efforts require wisdom to be effective. Next person highlights that. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of our time. This was reads 500 pages every day. He doesn't wake up and think of a stock. Say, oh, I feel the air. That's not how it works. That's not how it ever works. You need to do the right thing every day. His fortune is not merely in dollars. It's in preparation, patience, understanding, qualities forged by small, consistent efforts he makes on a daily basis. So yeah, this story reminds us knowledge, like money, it compounds every single day. It requires patience. It requires effort. It requires structure. But yeah, knowledge and effort alone, they're insufficient. You need to be resilient. The next thing I talk about, this is the one that hits home for me. I had my dad working with me here for a little bit. He's moved on to different pastures now. And this is a story I actually had this, I talked to him about this probably a couple years back. And it was one of the things that really led to me pushing him to pursue the next level of what he's currently at. It's kind of stupid. KFC. So I got all that emotional worked up, but then fried chicken. But the story's beautiful. Colonel Sanders began his entrepreneurial career at 65 years old. Doing what we don't want to do. He's knocking on doors. He's knocking on doors and pitching a chicken recipe. First of all, it's not very effective, right? Yet his refusal to quit, his relentless faith in the process every single day, he pitched it to, I think, 1,008 different restaurants he pitched his recipe to. It wasn't until he was 65 years old, a stage in life where 99% of the normal people in this world, whatever they've done, they've done. And they try to pass on good messages to the people below them, whatever it is. But we kind of need to understand, you guys, he 64, no one knew he existed. He had nothing to his name, nothing at all. 65, it's KFC. This is the power of doing the right thing. It's not going to be tomorrow. It might not be when you're 64. I promise you it's going to be when you're 65. Do not stop. Do not give up. That is what we have here. So there's a couple things I wanted to touch on, but I'll kind of talk to you guys to end this off. Wherever you're tempted to skip the small things, the extra phone call, the setting up your schedule for the preparation, game planning, what you want to set people up for coverage, these are not minor details. Starting dials at 8 a.m. every morning, these are not minor details. This is the essence of progress. This is the building of foundation. If you're not doing it, don't wait for the person above you to tell you to do it. Make them feel bad. Show up early, put in the work, make your bed, clean your room, send the message, do what you need to do, and yeah, you'll be able to fight through it. So I appreciate your guys' time. That was all I wanted to cover today. And Andrew, Jimmy, back at you guys.